Okay, the 2 weeks that you have got, hope that you have used it in a proper way. Okay, so those who have completed their unit 1 are proceeding with unit 2. Okay, please go ahead because you are good to go with your work. Okay, and there is a special, because most of you are English teachers, there is a specific warning that I would like to give you. Remember, Cambridge is very particular with English teachers. Your language has to be 100% proper when you're writing your lesson plan or your assignments. So do not be very casual when you're writing your language in terms of your assignment or your lesson plan. And the general qualification for English that is expected is B2. So you can understand all the other teachers are also supposed to complete it with appropriate grammatical structuring of the sentences. Okay. So please do keep this in mind when you're writing your assignments. Okay. And spelling mistakes must and should be thoroughly checked. Please, because I see a lot of spelling mistakes coming, and set your system to UK English. Please do not set it to US English. Okay, your setting system settings itself, you will have to set it to UK English. You cannot set it to US English because COLOR is color when it comes to US, but COLOUR, okay, is color. And endeavor, all that U is missing. And please understand, if I miss something, then it goes to Cambridge with that spelling errors. No, finally it comes as a comment in your report, and that will not look nice. So please see that you set your system to UK English, and do check your grammar. There are different free apps that are available. Check to take anything from exemplar. Not even the idea. Please do not take that idea also from exemplar. Okay, that is really considered to be very serious. Okay, exemplars are only for reference, and we will be shortly removing all the exemplar because we have already received one comment from Cambridge regarding the use of exemplar candidates by our own candidate. As the candidates, we will not be providing access to exemplar anymore. Okay, so please do not even frame the sentence as per the exemplar. That's only for, that was given only for an idea reference, but do not do that. Okay, write your own sentence and check with grammar apps, and reframe those sentences and put it in your assignments. Okay, so before we start, you can clarify your doubt, and please make a note of your status of work. Those who are completing, final dates of completion will be February, March, because March there is no upload, and we will not be uploading more than 4 to 6 assignments per month. The reason is too many assignments Cambridge accepting. So the final uploading month, you will have to complete all your assignments on or before March. Okay, you cannot go unit 2 with one batch of students and unit 3 with another batch of students. That's not, you will have to redo the entire one, and we will not be permitting any more uploads after May. If you have not completed your assignments after May, there will not be any uploads after May, and I will not be checking the works after May. Okay, that is, you have to complete your verification and keep it ready for upload by April end for May upload. Remember, it has to be 1 month in advance for your uploading. If you are uploading in February, by January, everything should be ready. Then only we can go February upload. Okay. So if March we will not be having upload, so all those who are ready in February will have only upload in April. Okay. So March, if you have completed, we can go with May upload. Yes, Sinduri, what is your question?
Ma'am, as I have submitted you the documents, you asked me to reframe it according to the word number count, ma'am. I have done it. Can you please
word count is very important. Word count
Yes.
is very important. All your assignments must be 10% above, because there are where this institutes which give minus 10%, but no, that is at a disadvantage. The reason is you may not be able to put your ideas forth correctly. So we look at the exact word count plus 10%. So please check the word count. I have repeated this number of times. EOL of unit 1 must be 800 to 880. You can look through the syllabus document for word count. EOR is 400 to 440. Unit 2 EOL, EOR is 600 to 660. Okay, Unit 3 EOL is 400 to 440. EOR is 800 to 880. Okay, reverse of Unit 1. So please do follow the word count properly. Okay, and adhere to the rules, because the comments that Cambridge sends, and please don't land in trouble with Cambridge, because it's not the one certification that you do. Okay, if you're totally going to be blacklisted, then no, you will not be able to do any further courses with Cambridge if you're once into their list. Okay, so please do not do anything, any malpractice whatsoever. Okay.
Ma'am, one more doubt, ma'am. I did not get any comments regarding the EVOL, Unit 1 EVOL, ma'am.
EOL only I've done. EOR I've not done. Just now I finished only EOL of your Sinduri.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
EOL only I have given about the word count.
Okay, ma'am, and I have shared you the lesson plan of Unit 2 also, ma'am.
Now that will take time, because see, one thing is, this also is, and thank you for reminding, many of you have not completed your Unit 1 EOP properly. That is observation visit form and the lesson plan. Handwritten, Sinduri, yours handwritten lesson plan is not accepted, and that lesson plan has a lot of missing gaps.
Okay,
Okay,
ma'am, I'll do it. I'll redo
so
it.
remember, it will be reflecting on your institution. Okay,
Okay,
see
okay.
that the lesson plans are typed and no, it is presented properly for clear understanding. There is no visibility actually. We enlarge the image, it's gone. So please do not keep written lesson plans. See for type clear lesson plans that are kept as the experienced teacher's lesson plan. Okay.
Oh, okay, sure.
Once that is Unit 1 EOP is complete, then only I'll proceed to Unit 2 lesson plan verification.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, Neelam? Neelam.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Ma'am, about observation form, the one which I used, I have downloaded it from the PDQ only.
Ma'am, same
What was the comment that I have given?
Yes, ma'am, to use a new format, but we have downloaded it from their PDQ help.
You have downloaded it. My question is, did you change the font or anything of that, this one? You would have changed the font.
No, ma'am, I haven't changed, but still I will read it.
Check it,
and there
because
was
if
no
you
question there.
No, questions are there. Questions are there. I have seen in others, this one, 3 questions are given. Questions are given.
Ma'am, for me also it's the same case, ma'am. Like questions are there, questions are also given, and
Questions are not there in the document which we know.
Wait.
You told me to check the font size, ma'am. So that I have redone. But when I'm downloading the, you have mentioned that kindly download the new version of that particular thing. I mean, new format. But when I'm downloading the format, it's just exactly the same thing, ma'am. So what I did, I downloaded. Yes, ma'am.
No, what is happening is, in your system, you would have set a default font.
Okay.
So when you download the template and type it, it will go with the system's font instead of the template's font.
Okay, ma'am. Yeah. So, ma'am, this time I have downloaded and I have made that font as what you suggested, ma'am.
Yes.
Again, I have.
And it is actually in italic for Unit 1, this one, EOP.
Okay.
Yeah. So please check that, because if your system font is set stronger, then the template will take that. See that it is in Arial 10 only.
Arial 10 and italics, ma'am?
Even don't put italics. It's okay if it's not italics, but Arial 10 is must.
Okay.
Remember, all your EOP, including your lesson plan, must be in Arial font only. Because remember, you're uploading PDF format. PDF format, the font will not change if you upload it in the PDF format to the portal. So you have to maintain that font and style what is recommended in the template. Okay, some of you are using different versions and different font styles and all. That is not allowed. Okay. Yes, Sharmila?
Ma'am, I have EOP. You said it's fine, ma'am, for me. The observation form.
Yes, I did not see. I need to get a mail, isn't it? I have not that I have done these changes. If you
Yeah.
send the mail, for me, the mail pop-up is the one. See, what comes first, I check that.
All
So
right,
it's
ma'am.
in sequence. So that is why I'm asking you to send a mail so
Yeah.
that no, it will come out for me. Sometimes you will be working on the comments that also pops up. So I remove all those as red. And if you have clearly mentioned I've reworked on this, then I open the link and I work on it.
All right, ma'am. You asked me to, go with focus on this word count as it was crossing 80. So I
Yes.
changed it and I again done it.
And your unit 2 lesson plan must be submitted. If your
Yes.
EOP is done for unit 1, then please go with unit 2 lesson plan and work on unit 1 EOL and EOR.
Yes, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Okay. Preeti ma'am, any other questions you have?
No, ma'am, it's okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Shravanti, yes, Shravanti?
Ma'am, as you told that the lesson plan from the experienced class teacher also should be in the Arial 10 only, ma'am, in the Word format.
No, it's school format. It's a school format. Lesson
So anything.
one is school format. It need not be mandatorily Cambridge format. It need not.
Okay, ma'am. And the other one is for the Unit 2, ma'am, as it was given in the template, Cambridge template, we need to do the lesson plan. But you have commented that you follow this template only if your school follows the Cambridge. Is it so like, or else
That
we
is
should...
for unit 1. For unit 1, not for unit 2.
Unit 1 is done, ma'am. Unit 2, ma'am. For Unit 2, I have...
Unit 2, you have to use Cambridge template. But I think you have unit 2, you have to use Cambridge template. But I remember you using your school template. That is the reason I said no.
No, ma'am. Two logos were given. I mean, it was by mistake, I think. So that
Logos have to be removed.
So logo
So
has to be
Cambridge template only you have to.
Okay, ma'am. I thought like we should not use as we are not following the curriculum and I have removed the logos. Today I will redo it again because I have sent you, ma'am, made the corrections according to your comments. But however, I'll keep again the comments. And the down evaluation was given, like this should be submitted only after the mentor's reference was given. The other comment
No,
was...
after your observation only that evaluation column should be filled.
So I did not feel anything, ma'am. But that blank should be like that only, or I should remove that
blank should be like that when lesson plan is getting approved. After implementing in your class, then you will write your reflection and evaluation.
So I did not write anything. The blank was empty only as it is. Shall I keep it as it is, ma'am?
Yes, you have to keep it as it is. Don't fill anything.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes. Any other queries? Aarti ma'am, I would request you to stay back after the session. I would like to have a discussion with you.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we will start today's session. Remember, now this is the second class of unit 3. So we will be having another 2 more classes and then further we will not be having any more classes. So please do finish your assignments as soon as possible. Okay. So today it is LOJ, teach lessons that are effectively managed using active learning strategies and where learning is often differentiated. The key questions are: what strategies can be used to manage lessons effectively? Why should teachers use variety of teaching methods and learning activities that are mainly based on active learning approaches? How can learning be differentiated to meet the needs of the students across the full range of abilities? How can teachers develop higher order thinking skills of all students? So before we start, the question, what is differentiation? So please go through. This is an individual activity. Page 3 and page 7 on how to differentiate in mixed ability classrooms. How to differentiate in mixed ability classrooms. This is a very important resource for Unit 3 on differentiation. I'll put it in the group also. Please read through the resource and put your comments.
Ma'am, the document is differentiation in action, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Hallmarks of a differentiated classroom from there. Shampa ma'am, I think your camera has an issue.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. Actually, Sai is rectifying that, so I'm not able to do this assignment.
Okay,
He is on any desk, ma'am.
okay, okay. No issues. You can read through the document. Parveen ma'am, what has happened to you? Why is your camera off?
Ma'am, I texted you, ma'am. I mailed, ma'am. The reason I have mailed, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, you can start putting your ideas in the chat box. Yes. Why do you need differentiation in classroom? What is differentiation? Differentiating instructions involve providing multiple ways for students to take in information, make sense of ideas. Very good. Yes, Shravanti, correct? Yes. What is differentiation and why do we need differentiation? Creates an academically responsive classroom where all students are challenged and successful. Yes, true. Can you all hear me? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Others, please. Differentiated instructions cater to different types of learners and also challenges students to compete. Very good. Yes. Okay. Differentiation in teaching involves adjusting methods, activities, and materials to cater to students' learning interest. Ensure students can engage with content. Very good. Yes, that's good. Use time flexibly, call upon range of instructional strategies. Very nice, very mama. Yes. Shape, support the learner and learning. Yes. Okay. Yes. Shravanti, yours is nice. Homogeneous to heterogeneous grouping and questioning to meet individual students' need. Very good. Ensures each student receives the support and challenge they need to thrive academically. Okay. Tailoring teaching methods, assessments. Very good. Students can learn. Okay. Okay. Right. Support to struggling learners. Very good. Opportunities for teachers to get to know their students. Very good. So I just would like you to look at this diagram. I don't know whether you're able to see it properly. I'm just putting it in full screen. Can you see the full screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you able to see? Okay, right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Not, so not clear.
So just observe this image. When you're looking at a differentiated classroom, how your classroom should be. First, you start with the whole class. Okay. Then you may give them different study materials to understand their readiness and learning styles. Then students, whatever they have understood, they start sharing. Then now remember what is given in the bottom, that is the differentiation strategies. Okay. Then you can assign them different tasks to get them to understand what are the key ideas and understand the different levels of complexities and help them learn in their own pace. Then the entire class will review the idea. Remember, you're separating them with ideas and then asking the entire class to share it. That is one part. Second part, another strategy is in small groups, you select students, apply different problems. Okay, like you call it as learning stations approach. Okay, that is another differentiation strategy that you can use. Then they make it into a presentation in front of the class. Another strategy is they reflect based on their learning. Okay, in different ways, they will be presenting their understanding or reflection. And this will be then into the whole class approach. Okay. Clear? Just observe this diagram. Yeah. Can you see the steps 2, 4, 6, and 8 are differentiation strategies. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 are how these strategies can be used again to bring them into the whole class. Okay. Why differentiation? Please check if this is given. Why differentiation? I'll just share it in the chat box. Yeah, it is in differentiation in action, the first chapter, celebrating the unique talents of all learners. The resource, celebrating the unique differentiation in action. Okay, go through the chapter and list down the features that you find unique and are applicable to your classroom. Now that you are into this process, some of you have done your unit 1 and you're observing your class for like what exactly you have to implement for your unit 2. List down what are the unique features that you feel your classroom has and how exactly you are going to apply differentiation in your classroom. You can speak out also. Please read through that chapter. This is the resource. I'll give you time up to 10:03. Please do read and then give me your ideas. Yes, now you can start. You can speak out. What are the unique features? Remember, I do not want theory here. I want you to connect with your class and speak. Okay? Connect with your class and start speaking. Shravanti, you want to say something?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, the first one, like as I'm dealing with PP1 children, ma'am, each one will have their individual talent and interest. Like, few will be more towards these animals and colors, like stories. They get together with it. So when we
Hmm.
create any technique, we can use. So children, what they do, ma'am, like when we give any topic or like example letter introduction, also they'll connect with their interest, like animals that starts with that letter. In this way,
Hmm.
they incorporate in their application, ma'am, in the classroom.
Okay. So how will you go with differentiation in their case?
So we will be, encouraging. We'll recognize that even these children will have these unique abilities and interests, ma'am, and we give their preferences too.
I understood that. Be more specific, Shravanti. Why I'm asking is, now remember, you will have to write an activity in your lesson plan
Okay.
incorporating differentiation. If you, what I've noticed is, if you are telling me the activity, I can see that in your work assignment. But if I'm not seeing this here, I'm 100% sure you're not writing it in your assignment. So be very specific of what exactly you will use as differentiation in your class.
So this means, the principle of, work with an individual, ma'am. The students needs according to the student interest. We are working on it, right, no, ma'am?
I can understand, but I'm asking you to give me a specific example. For example, you say that when I start a letter, this, I will be asking students to work on so and so things. That
Hmm.
way. That example I want.
So, if example, like if I'm introducing any letter, when I ask them to come up with the any words that starts with the letter, each child will have their own interest, ma'am. So, few they may
Again,
go with.
Shravanti, generalizing, to be specific. I'm saying give an example which is very specific. Very specific example. Give a very specific example.
Like introduction of letter that starts with which letter we are going to in that sense, ma'am.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
So example, like if I go with the letter N only, ma'am, N
Hmm.
letter ka introduction if I'm going with, and when I ask the children to come up with the pictures that starts with or things that starts with the letter N, the child
Hmm.
goes with the N words like nightingale or animals when he connects with the more of uh, uh,
Hmm.
N ka words like animal ka words or colors if they go with a
Hmm.
different way. It depends upon the child interest and where it connects with, or if it with the
Hmm.
things like net, nest. If the child is more towards the animals, he comes with a nightingale, nest. In this way, the child is more with connected with the numbers. He goes with the nine number, 9,
Hmm.
19, 99.
Hmm.
He says these words.
Very good. Very good.
So
Yes,
in
correct.
that way, if he is more connected with the things or surroundings, he
Ah,
says nature,
okay.
night,
Okay.
in this way, ma'am. So each
Okay.
one will have their own way of expressing and their look towards the words.
Very good. Okay. Yes, Shravan. Yes, Preeti ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am. So if what I think so, I will go ahead with one of the strategy where it was talking about self-expressive style. So when I teach any particular concept, ma'am, like it may be an old concept where they will use their method in their own style to express it. Say now they are talking about we are talking about photosynthesis. So they
Hmm.
learn about photosynthesis, but now to put it in their own style, they may use a particular experiment. They may think like to design an experiment to explain that particular topic of photosynthesis. So in that way, like we can give them that particular place where they can use a plant experiment and design. They may use diagrams to explain that, they may use flow charts to explain that, so they can use various modes to present their learning. So that
Very
can be
true.
what I feel could be done.
Very true. Very true. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Neelam, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am. Ma'am,
Yeah.
if I look at my classroom, I have every style of learners. There is no specific, at least there are one or two learners who like to express themselves, and one or two learners who are interpersonal, but majority of them, they fall under the category of this understanding style and mastery style. Most of my learners, except for one
Okay.
or two. So for understanding style, I give them the worksheets where like direct questions where they have to read and summarize what they have learned or answer direct questions. And I put certain higher order thinking questions. Sometimes I ask them in the class where they have to think out of the box and answer. There are two or three children who are interpersonal. If if you give them textbook or anything, they will not learn. But if they discuss and talk and they are included in a group, they learn better. They come up with
Very true.
their ideas. So what
Please do write it down. No,
I
you.
actually practice.
Okay, please do write it down
Actually, I
because no,
practice
this
it
will
in the
help.
class. I create study groups and
Very
yes,
good.
ma'am.
Please, now why I'm
Actually,
asking you to write it down is in your Unit 3 EOL, you will have to mention
yes.
why you are using this activity and how you are bringing differentiation in your class. So what you just now told me, Neelam, must be there in your EOL.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that is the reason. Okay, that's the reason I'm asking you to note it down. Very nice. Very nice. It was. Yes,
Only
Alicia.
practicing. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Alicia.
Ma'am, good morning, ma'am. So, I thought that the staff rotation method would be helpful for my learners, ma'am, because taking this topic of simile, I would say that if I have to go with the mastery, see, first what I want to do is I will divide the group so that all kind of learning styles of the children will be present in the each group, wherein the tasks will be like a worksheet, a paired work, and one person with the interpersonal style can do the doodle to understand the simile.
Okay. Now, why
Then
paired work is coming there? Actually, when you're saying group activity, pair work should not be coming there, right?
yeah, ma'am. I mean, like they will be discussing. I thought wrong choice of words. They'll be
Okay.
discussing. They'll be discussing. One person will take the lead to understand. They will take the lead to discuss about the similes, to fill the worksheet, and to draw the doodles. What they want to express through the doodles, they'll be sharing among them, so that the learning outcome can be achieved.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Shampa ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. This IT is telling there is a problem, internal problem with my laptop, so the camera cannot be switched on through any desk. So I think today I won't be able to switch on my camera.
Okay.
Some technical problem with my laptop. So going with the question, like Anthony Gregoric's theory of thinking styles. So in this, yesterday actually in my class, I took a lesson on democratic rights, where I had an Harkness table where it was a 14-member class. So I divided them into two groups, one side 7, the other side 7. So one side I gave some topics to explain to the other class. It was a flip class. So they were explaining, and on the other side, one was a report writer, the other was an assessor on how the students on the other side are talking, and one was a I had integrated art also. So they were drawing on the different aspects that these people were telling.
Sure.
Here, one who has concrete random thinkers were made as reporters, and then there was a flip. The other side started explaining. On the other side, we had a reporter, an assessor, and a art integrator. So, the students who could think concretely, random thinking in the first style of who perceive the whole, they were made the reporters.
Okay. Okay.
Who summarized the entire thing told by the first group. So that was like an overall summary of the talks made by the first group. So I categorized them under the concrete random thinkers. Then these first group or the groups who told in detail the different aspects were like concrete sequential thinkers.
Okay.
One by one, sequence the concept and told about the concept. Now, the abstract random thinkers were guided by emotion. So, the concept had that if you don't get your rights, what are the consequences in the family, in the society? So, we had 3 case studies.
Okay. Okay.
Jail in US, how the prisoners were not given rights. And then Saudi Arabia, where rights are not encouraged to be given to all people. And thirdly, we had so these 3 case studies told everything about emotions where the rights were not given. So
they
were abstract random thinkers. Now, those who were the assessors, they were concentrating on the facts, like who asked question, who answered it well, and all. They were assessing the whole thing. So I can put them into abstract sequential thinkers. So in a class of 40 minutes, I could achieve all these 4 types of thinkers to get involved in the class.
Very true. Chamba ma'am, again, whatever you have told me now, please do make it as a point when you're, see, in your lesson plan, you will be devising it as an activity. Remember, don't give you an explanation of why you did that activity in the lesson plan, because some of you are writing details in your lesson plan of why you are going with that activity.
Okay.
That description of the activity of why you are doing it must come in your EOL.
Okay.
Okay, because it is linked to a theory that you are learning.
Yes.
Okay, your evidence of practice is what you're doing. That is the reason I asked you to give me as a set as a whole, because whatever you're doing as a practice must have the reference in your EOL, because it's a learning that you have undergone.
Yes.
Okay, and how you're referring it to the theory, why you thought that this is beneficial for your class. After implementing, what was the consequence of it? What happened during the class? And what was your reflection? How did it go well? Why did it go well? Where did it not go well? That comes under your reflection.
Okay.
EOR. Okay. So this connection you should understand when you are doing it. Yes, Sindhuri.
Yes, ma'am. Generally, I go with the 4 style of observers, ma'am. Like each and every student in the class may not be interested if we ask to participate in a group activity where all the groups will be doing the same work. So one group of the students were given to observe what the question was asked, and the other group of students were asked to write what the observer group has given, and then the other group were asked to rewrite, ma'am. For example, if I take a grammar topic of active and passive voice in the grammar. So after the explanation of the grammar, like one group of the children were asked to observe where they were able to identify that active and passive voice in their lesson context, and the other group were asked to take out the key features when explaining the grammar. What is the keywords they have to check when identifying the active and passive voice, and the other group were asked to reframe such sentences.
Okay, so it's a group work, and finally, when the group presentation happens, it becomes a complete activity.
Yes, ma'am.
Right, right. Okay, now why I'm specifying on this, Sinduri? Remember, this you will have to mention it when you are writing. Okay?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, sure.
Yeah. Sharmila ma'am, yes. I'll stop after Mookambika. Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am. So in my class, I could clearly see all four type of thinkers, like concrete random thinkers and abstract random thinkers, and sequential random thinkers and sequential abstract thinkers. So concrete random thinkers, they love to do the problem and they are very creative, but they don't give me the sequential way of following the steps. Okay, this is a question, right? Okay, I got the answer. But if I'm asked them to put it in the paper, okay, they will take some time to analyze and process, and then they will do. But they can give the solutions, or they can link it with the real life very quickly, and they don't need any group work or anything to showcase their like answers or understanding, because they are quite so good. And this abstract random thinkers are there in the class, like where they need to talk than me talking. They need to talk, and they need to talk with their friends, and they have to have that the discussion more, then only they will understand. So for them again, I will make the concrete random thinker and abstract random thinker as like a pair, and then I will make them to discussion mode and vice versa, because concrete random thinker in my class are quite okay with discussion. So in that way, I will do, or I'll go ahead with the classes. I just have this doubt, ma'am. Nowadays, I am getting this, like students saying numbers are. I'm scared of numbers. That habit got evolved from their middle school and primary school. Like numbers is like quite scary to me. Like, may I know, like under what category that they will come? Like numbers.
Actually, numbers, if they are fearing, they come under dyscalculia. But the prominence why that is happening is everyone is looking at an easy way out.
Okay.
Okay, and when the kid is small, today generally what I've observed is when the children are small, now the parents are also, they indirectly inculcate the fear. Max is important, max is difficult, max. See, this is what happened when we were also kids. But no, lucky for us that too much of stress was not there with mathematics.
Yeah.
But now, no, there is a lot of stress when it comes to maths because the concentration is on engineering and IIT. So indirectly, it is causing the fear for numbers rather than the friendliness with numbers. Okay, so we will have to make it like get that overcome by saying that okay, it's fine, no problem. Over a period, you will be getting the concept. Okay, that idea should be given to the students. Yes, Kushi.
Yeah, ma'am. Ma'am, listening to all those reports and like inputs, different types of thinkers we do have. Also, like in normal English, like in general, if I can tell, we have like four types of learners, like
Yes.
who like to listen like visually, audio, kinesthetic, and all. So here, when you incorporate a lesson, it will be in sections like introduction, next middle, next the closing, and also here we can, what I think is, we can incorporate one kind of group in this. Like for example, if the student is like visual subject verb agreement topic, if I take, so for visual learners, we can get the diagram with subject and verb pairs, where highlighting the subject verb agreements, and then we can make them to like visually show the cards and diagrams to match it. If there is any auditory learners, so we can make like read the sentences aloud and ask the students to listen and find the mistake in the sentence, so that like auditory learners are being a little focused. And the one who are the kinesthetic learners, where like one activity where we can organize a group where they build the sentences, like it can be like a shuffling and all, to build a sentence with correct subject verb agreement. And the one who writes and reads, obviously we have the worksheets and the textbooks and all. So in a whole complete lesson, so I think like we can divide these four types of learners, which will connect to the different thinkers. That's what I
Okay.
understood. That's how we can reach all type of thinkers.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Khushi? Yes, Garima ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. So, like everybody's talking about that in every class, we have different types of thinkers, right? So we have concrete and random and all. And we have different styles also to cater all these people. So
Very
there
true.
there is a task rotation. So anything what we are introducing after the introduction, if we are doing this task rotation where we are including all the styles where we can, incorporate, as she said, visual learners, auditory learners, kinesthetic learners. So because everybody's understanding is different, everybody's interpretation is different, and everybody's way of telling the same concept is different. So if we are doing it in a rotation way, we are where we are using understanding style, interpersonal style, and expressive style. A small topic, if we give whatever the topic in English, like I was taking a class, there's a small topic, a boom, that is droplet. And how droplet, when it comes, it is very clear and cluster, and they want to see the earth. When they came down to the earth, they started, seeing that, a river is sinking and all. So when this concept has been introduced, and when I have started asking, everybody's perception and interpretation was different. That's how we can say that because every child, they have this different thinking style. And then when we are doing this by taking different learning style, then we will come to know that, okay, this is the way the child has understood. I have to work on this way. This is the way. So our main motto is the child should understand the concept by doing all different activities. So one topic, but if you give them the free hand to think and then come up with their own thing, then I think, we can cater everybody, and we can cater the concept clarity will be clear in the class.
Very true. Very true. Actually, we have to cater to everyone. That's the final approach to teaching. Yes. Mukambika. Yes, Mukam.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. As everyone said, ma'am, learners are of different styles. And here in my class, I'm going to implement like hands-on experiments. Some learners are kinesthetic learners.
Kinesthetic.
Yeah, ma'am, kinesthetic learners, as these people learn when they experiment it, hands-on experiment. So,
Yes.
and I'm going to scatter them in a group, and the next visual learners, they'll label the diagram. For example, digestive system topic, they label a diagram and they provide, I'll provide the worksheet. They'll be labeling it and they'll learn through that. And even showing the video by visualing also, they'll be able to observe it.
Visual
And
representation. Yes.
yes. And some learners are like creative thinkers, so that they can build a model of this digestive system using the clay or paper, and all of them come together and present it now.
Very true. Very true. Yes, they can, based on what they want, they can. Right.
Yes.
Right. Yes. So now you have an idea about what is differentiation. So remember, this week, next week also we'll be dealing with differentiation. So next week we'll be dealing with more activities. Remember last week you had done two groups. So I'm just going to divide. One is language. The other group is going to be all the other subjects, math, science, social, all will come in another group. Okay, language is one group because most of you are English. So you can pick your breakout room. 10 minutes I'll give you to design an activity. Some of you have already designed, and then discuss it with your peers also and come forward. Okay, so 10 minutes you will be taking. So room 1 will be languages, room 2 will be other subjects. Okay, room 1 will be languages, room 2 will be other subjects. So now that you have already designed your activities, discuss with your peers and come to a conclusion. We will have a checklist which we will be verifying for the activities that your friends or your colleagues, peers have said. Okay. Yeah. You can now take the rooms. Garima, Parveen, you have not joined.
Ma'am, we did not get any pop-up, ma'am.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
which one? Your Shravanti, which one you are into, subjects or languages?
Today I want to change. I mean, I'll go with the other languages, other subjects, ma'am. Because any
Okay, I put you. I put you. Garima, yourself?
ma'am, even I want to go to other subject today.
Okay. Shampa, ma'am? Revati, I've put you. Garima, I've already put you in the room.
Yeah, ma'am, I was there, but again it brought me back here to this
1
session.
minute, I'll shift you and then I'll put you back.
Ma'am, mine is room 2, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah. I have to move you to room 1 and bring back. Now we will get.
Yeah.
Now you see, you'll get a pop-up. Parveen, you're also in the room. You have to join. Okay, so you have had a discussion. So you have seen how individual activities come across different different parameters that has to be measured when we are looking at learning. So this was the checklist that was shared with you. So whenever you're designing an activity also for differentiation, you will have to follow this checklist. So we'll come to the hot part of it. Was the whole class engaged? Okay, is it a group activity? Remember, generally a group activity will be coming under differentiation. The reason is there, and when we are talking of group activity also, here it has to be a small group activity. Do not go for groups beyond 4 to 5 students. Okay, because managing groups is be very difficult. That we will be studying in the other modules of your teaching and learning of why group activity we have to do small teamwork. Okay, and whether the classroom atmosphere was suitable for student participation and individual student participation. Did it come under active learning, or only one student was doing the entire work? All those also must be monitored, and whether the activity outcome was focused during the activity, and did it bring a higher order thinking among the students. Okay, the effective classroom strategies help in establishing a positive teacher student working relationship, informing students about why the activity is conducted so that they will have a meaningful learning, providing clear instructions to the students of what they must do and when they have to do it. Then there should be a clear transition between activities. So in a class, in a period, you may have 2 to 3 activities. It should not be blocks of activities. There should be a transition from one activity to another, so that that learning flow is captured during that entire session. Then it should be with the pace of learning progress for the students. It should match. Formative assessment and feedback must be continuously done during this process. There should be opportunity for students to reflect and apply their new learning, correct misunderstanding and misconceptions if any, scaffolding to be provided wherever extra support is required, use the age level appropriate concept and language, then rules and regulations for classroom discipline, and also having praise or certain other aspects which actually build the self-esteem and confidence of students. So these are the positive aspects of effective classroom strategies. Now, when we look at before this, we'll have a small break. It's 10:43, 10:45, 10:50. We will be joining back. Okay, take a small break and come. Then you can read through this. I will share this. Chapter 3, 2 and 3 of differentiation in action. Okay, I'll share this. So 10, now it's 10:44. So please read through chapter 2 and 3. So 10:45, now it's 10:50, we'll join back. I'll give you reading time. You can take a small break and come. Yeah, you can come back. You please read through it because there are different strategies also given in this particular book. You can use this as reference. If you have any other references also, you can use. But the major person for this is Carol and Tomlinson. Okay. Differentiation. The researcher is Carol Ann Tomlinson.
Ma'am, Sharmila here, ma'am.
Ma'am, you're in mute, ma'am.
Oh, sorry. Categories of differentiation. I'm just posting it in chapter 2 and 3, differentiation in action, and understand according to you which is the best differentiation practice for your list.
Ma'am, there was a power cut in my area. I just rejoined now, ma'am. So may I know like what
I
we
know
have
that
to
that's why I shared you this. I heard you, but I was in mute. Okay, I've
Okay.
shared you. I'll put it in WhatsApp also so that no, you will have it.
All right.
Yeah. Yes, you can start your discussion. Those who have completed reading can start your discussion. You need more time to read, or are you able to hear
Just
me?
2
Do
more
you
minutes,
need
ma'am.
more time? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, sure. Anyone is ready?
Ma'am, shall I try?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, I'll go with task rotation, ma'am, where I can concentrate on all the styles. So
Very
while
good.
making the lesson plan, I'll just start before learning, like before we start it, I'll just present some content with the stories where I can concentrate the auditory and use some manipulatives, ma'am, where the
Okay.
kinetic learners be, I can, or the visual aids where the spatial learners will be engaged. And during learning time, ma'am, I'll just facilitate the discussions where the interpersonal style of learning children will be encouraged and they will be open up and talk and encourage the journaling too. Where the intrapersonal learners will also be engaged. And I can even ask
Very good.
to use some diagrams where my spatial learners will be also involved in this.
Okay,
And
very good.
And
Okay.
after learning, even I can offer the students to like to write, where I can consider the children who are very good in writing, showing their learning skills through writing, like journaling or role playing, where I can ask the children to role play what they have learned, or create some music and demonstrate their understanding through their visual and rhythmic one. So I can cover all.
Okay, so Shravanti, here you have to understand there are three parts of your lesson.
Yes, ma'am.
First is the opening part where the prior knowledge comes.
Before
Second
learning.
is your learning phase or the new
During-
content phase and the closure phase. So you're doing it during the closure phase. Am I
Ma'am,
right?
yeah, no, ma'am. The each set of, I mean, before learning and during learning and after learning too, like during the assessment or whether to know myself whether the child has done everything, he has reached my lesson plan or my objectives or not, or
See,
my aim or not.
when you gave, it was looking as if it was towards the closure.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you're talking about closure activity. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Yes, Preeti ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. So for me, I was feeling like, ma'am, for my topic, say, for the differentiation, if I can take, I will take it during that particular process, ma'am. It would be process differentiation where, this lesson, say, pollination, because now I'm teaching the lesson reproduction in plants. So where we are dealing with topics like pollination, fertilization, seed dispersal. So that particular topic, may I think so, I would like to take the strategy choice boards, ma'am, where the children will be getting options to explore the various ways where they can present the topic on plant reproduction. Like if I take visually, visually, if the children are smart enough, so they will create a label diagram of plant reproduction. Some are like, the kinesthetic learners where they will build a 3D model of a flower where they will show all the reproductive parts. And also some where we are talking about self-expressive learners, where we have seen where they can write it in a way, and maybe they perform a small skit sort of thing, and they explain their learning in that way about pollination, like, the self-pollination, cross-pollination. So in that way, maybe that I can feel like, we can go ahead with that. And also they can, if some of them are like, very good in visual and this making videos and all, so they can start with they can make a small video or animated video or something like that, ma'am.
Yes, yes. So it is a process one.
Yes, ma'am.
But animated video thinking, how exactly?
Ma'am,
how will you?
animated video, ma'am, they have something in their topic AI, ma'am, where they talk about Scratch and all. That's a one type of tool that they
Yeah.
use. So where they can make those short videos where they're talking about the different reproductive parts of a flower, and then show that can be done. I'm not very sure, but I was thinking if that can be also included in one of them, or a PPT. Or a PPT can be one of the ways.
Okay, 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 sure. Yes.
Ma'am, can
Anyone
I?
else? Yes, 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 ma'am.
मैम मैंने साक्षात्कार का एक टॉपिक लिया था मैम, 9th ग्रेड 9 के बच्चों को, और ग्रेड 9 के जो बच्चे थे उन्होंने टीचर से साक्षात्कार लिया था, इंटरव्यू लिया था। क्वेश्चंस उन्होंने फ्रेम किए थे और बच्चे टीचर से पूछते जा रहे थे क्वेश्चंस, और कुछ बच्चे वीडियो रिकॉर्ड कर रहे थे वहां पर, और कुछ लोग उसकी रिपोर्ट लिख रहे थे मैम।
ओके।
जो लोग प्रश्न पूछ रहे थे उनको ये समझ में आया कि भाषा का उपयोग हमें कैसा करना चाहिए या नहीं, तो हम कौन सी भाषा का उपयोग करेंगे, सामने जो व्यक्ति बैठा है उसके अनुसार हमें कौन सी भाषा का उपयोग करना है, कैसे सेंटेंस फ्रेम करने हैं, ऐसे। और अगर में एक क्वेश्चन वहां पर क्लोज हो जाता है तो ठीक है, नहीं तो दूसरे जो 5 बच्चे साथ में बैठे हैं, 4 लोग, वे लोग अलग तरीके के क्वेश्चंस तब का तब फ्रेम कर रहे थे मैम। और जो लोग वीडियो रिकॉर्ड कर रहे थे वे लोग इस बात पर ध्यान दे रहे थे कि किस प्रकार से हम इस चीज को इफेक्टिव बना सके, इसमें और क्या ऐड कर सकते हैं। और जो रिपोर्ट लिख रहे थे वे लोग बता रहे थे कि मतलब टीचर का क्या एक्सपीरियंस रहा है इतने सालों में, अगर में कुछ डाउन्स आते हैं टीचर्स की लाइफ में तो वो कैसे ओवरकम करती है इन सारी चीजों से। ये सारे प्रश्नों के उत्तर ये रिपोर्ट के रूप में लिख रहे थे मैम।
वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड। ओके, दैट्स अ वेरी गुड डिफरेंशिएशन स्ट्रैटेजी। तो आप यू आर डूइंग इट प्रायर और बीच में कर रहे थे या क्लोजर में कर रहे थे?
बीच में कर रहे थे मैम, पहले मैंने उन्हें साक्षात्कार होता क्या है बता दिया था मैम।
ओके, ओके, राइट।
Ma'am, I'm so sorry to interrupt. Ma'am, I was thinking like instead of that PPT thing, they can also go for a dissection, ma'am, because they use the method like, you know, where they will just show if they are interested in the practical work, so they can incorporate that method, ma'am. Will that be okay, ma'am?
Yes, they can, but your topic is on plant reproduction, so
labeling, ma'am,
dissection,
when they dissect, they
label,
will be, yeah, the parts.
Seed
Yes,
parts, right. Neelam ma'am, can you just tell me, because yours is a prior activity, so I thought like that also we'll have a
Unstable, so I have typed it down, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So they'll be watching the video on courses. So present what they have learned, choose any
So
one. So
they will read the topic.
Okay.
So after watching, they will draw what they have learned, ma'am. So they can use a graphic like contact and non-contact forces.
Okay. Yeah, can you just tell me what are the different activities and how differentiation you're doing? You're able to hear me, Neela?
Yes, ma'am. As I said, like.
Okay, okay. It's a network issue. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So they. Okay. I'm just reading through yours. Read the topic, watch the video, types of courses. So learning phase, they present what they have learned. Choose any drawing showing different types of courses, or use a graphic organizer. Write down notes mentioning different types of courses. Okay. Post learning, it can be worksheet answering questions, writing examples which they see in their daily life, mentioning what type of courses. Okay, the different types of fine. Now, I'll just share you the different modes of conducting differentiation. So when we talk of differentiation is by task design, task outcome, questioning, grouping, pace, dialogue, formative assessment, and resources. So these are the different methods of differentiation. Sharmila, you wanted to say something?
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Like I got it,
Ma'am.
ma'am. Types of differentiation.
Yes, ma'am. So it is about the differentiation only, ma'am. For in mathematics, I'm thinking during the process we can go with this technology integration way, where like FET simulations nowadays I'm using, and that is creating curiosity among the different differentiated learners as well, because it is interactive. And now I am focusing on at the end of the process, like probably I can create a learning centers, like where center one is like basic skills, or checking the basic level of understanding of that particular concept. Center 2, center 3, three centers I can create. One first center, they will do the basic skill checking of the particular concept, like measurements or mensuration. And center 2, once they have done or get through with center 1, center 2, like problem solving, proper problem solving on the core concepts. So it's
Yes.
like raw questions, asking them raw questions, and they have to solve. Wherein center 3, like the learning group 3 or center 3, their HOTS and real world no, real world problem solving, like linking with the real life applications. So I think this can help me to understand like where they are also. And by the way, they will also get motivated. Okay, I can able to solve the basic problems and problem solving on the particular concept and connecting it with the real life. This I think I can conduct at the end of the process to understand how they understood the concept.
Yes. You can also see when you're saying learning centers or learning stations, depending on the student's pace, it will work.
Yeah.
That's a very nice strategy. Yes.
Okay.
So now that we have seen about differentiation, how to develop thoughts using differentiation. So we have already read about Bloom's taxonomy and the different levels. So when we look at Bloom's taxonomy, remembering, understanding, applying comes under lower order thinking. Remembering, understanding, applying comes under the bottom three, comes under lots. Analyzing, evaluating, creating comes under HOT. Okay, so you can refer to page 68 of differentiation in action. Okay, and understand how in your subjects you think that thoughts can be developed. Now, whatever example you have taken till now, leave that. Take another one and think about how you can develop higher order thinking in your classroom. For this, page 68 of the same document, differentiation in action. You can go through it. Page 68. You can see how the Bloom's level is interconnected with your differentiation part. Can you see a table is given?
Is that the Bloom choice board? Choice at 6 levels of Bloom
Yes,
taxonomy?
yes, I'm sharing it. Can you see? Knowledge, comprehension, application level comes under lower order thinking. Analysis, synthesis, and evaluation level, or the creative level, that is actually coming under the higher order thinking. Can you think and now tell me how exactly you get? Now remember, differentiation is a part of your higher order thinking. So in differentiation, how can you build higher order thinking? That is what you will have to think. Are you able to hear me? Are you all able
Yes,
to hear
ma'am.
me?
Yes, ma'am, we can
Because
hear you.
I saw my screen freeze, so I thought what happened. Yes, can you think of differentiation based on blooms in your classes? Think of another example for another lesson. Yes, Kushi.
There was a small poem in my lesson, like in my curriculum. It was about her favorite doll. So for that, I have taken there, I have given some clues of rhyming words for different dolls. Like teddy bear, I gave. Teddy bear is his favorite for everybody. So teddy bear I showed, and I gave some rhyming words and told them to create their own poem. So it comes under higher order thinking. No?
Yes, it's a creative, right? They have to create their own poem.
Their own
So it
poem, then
becomes
clues
a-
are being given with rhyming words, and I have taken only teddy bear because teddy bear is for everybody, it will be a favorite toy.
Yes, that's correct. See, one thing is you are asking them to create. So creation comes under the highest level of higher order thinking. Okay, and it's a differentiation process because you are asking about their own interested toy. Okay, so that also becomes a differentiation with the higher order thinking activity. Yes, Travanti. Yes, Sharmila, yours is also correct because when the max problem is solved and you ask them to analyze the error, okay, you are developing critical thinking among them. So that also comes under higher order thinking. Yes, Travanti.
Yeah, ma'am, when we ask, after the explanation of different types of animals, like pet animals, wild animals, water animals, we can ask, what is the similarity between dog and the cat? Let them think, analyze, right, ma'am? So, why they are called as pet animals and how they are different with the other animals? What is the differences between birds and animals? Like, we can ask them to think about the size, how they make the sound, what type of food they eat, where they do live, in this way, ma'am. So this helps them to critical thinking, right? They compare and they think about that
Yes.
and then categorize, ma'am.
Very true, very true. That's yes, for PP it is higher order
So,
thinking part.
And,
Very
and even for math also, ma'am, once we are done with the shapes introduction, we can ask the child, see, square is also four sides and also rectangle is also four sides. But how these two shapes are same, how they are of different, like two sides same, and this also makes them to think deeper about the shape, ma'am.
Very true. Now here again, one thing I would like to see for example, PP that becomes a higher order thinking. But the moment the same goes to grade 1 or grade 2, it comes under lower order.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it
Because
will
as
not
it
come
was in
under,
introductions. Yes.
it will not come under higher order. So it is again age appropriate, age wise it has to be considered.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes,
As
no,
it was the introduction of different animals and birds. Now we are introducing those things for them.
Very.
And the
Yes,
concept
Mookampika.
of digestive system, ma'am, compare and contrast the digestive system, human digestive system with the animal digestive system.
Animal in the sense in
Vertebrate, like cow.
Only cow they have.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Compare and contrast. Yes, if they are able to see the differences, yes, it comes under analysis. Yes, yeah, correct. Shampa ma'am.
Ma'am, I taught solar system and the weights of people in different planets and everything in the class. So one of my students integrated it with artificial intelligence and gamified it. He made a game where you can click on the different planets and get your weight at that planet, how the gravitation is playing on our weight and everything, and what happens when the distance of that planet to the sun differs for different planets and how it affects a human body at that particular planet. So he created a game out of it and presented it before the space director in our last rebound session.
Okay. Ma'am, which class is the child?
Grade 10, ma'am.
Grade 10. Grade 10, you will have to really think. Only it's a technical based higher order because see, for grade 10, planets, weights will not be of that significance. But in your subject, what is the higher order thinking? See, for him, writing the program, language, I don't know, because how he has done, the child has done, because if we look at weights and planets, he will cover that in physics in grade 9, and he will cover it in social in 6th or 7th class in the solar system part of it. So
Yeah.
no, in 10th class, only thing is with technology, if he has done also, so what program he has used, that has to be looked into.
He has also
if it is-
like introduced atmosphere of different planets. So grade 10, there are layers of atmosphere and all that. So how atmosphere differs in different. So 2-3 topics he has combined actually.
Yeah, that is true, but that comes as a project work rather than the higher order thinking in the lesson. In the lesson.
Okay.
Okay.
I just wanted to see whether this can be included in a higher order.
It comes, ma'am, but again, that becomes only
that
one
is
student's work.
one.
For us, when we are talking of higher order thinking, it has to be a whole class, no, having that higher order thinking skills. At least, no, majority of your students should cross that bar.
Cross that bar. Okay.
Yeah. Tehseen, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. It was actually for a poem for grade 5. The name of the poem is How the Little Kite Learned to Fly. And where in this poem, the little kite is afraid to fly as it is scared that it will fall down if it tries to fly. And then it gets motivated by the big kite to try to fly. And my closing activity with regard to this poem was like in the end of the lesson, I asked the students to make or draw a small kite where they're going to write an inspirational quote to the kite. So here, even the below average student also, a very small inspirational quote they had written for the kite.
Okay. Ma'am, which class it is?
Grade 5, ma'am.
Okay. Grade 5, fine. Yes. It's a good activity. It's a creative activity. Right. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Sinduri. Alicia, again, you're going with simile. Yeah? Go with something.
Ma'am,
you're stuck to simile. Go with another topic.
Yesterday, I taught that in the class, ma'am. So it was
But think beyond it. See, when you are doing in the class, only when you're doing in your lesson plan, you will go beyond. Okay?
I was just like all the activities there, just
yes, Sindhu.
Yes, ma'am. Like for grade 4, ma'am, they have a lesson called Princess Pooh. The theme of the story is empathy, ma'am. So after the explanation and understanding, the kids were given a scenario cards, ma'am, where each scenario was given to them. Like your friend did not do well on a test and you did it well. So after giving such scenario cards, they were asked, how would you think the person in the scenario, like the person who is actually facing sad, would feel? So how would you encourage them? How would you feel? Like it is all about self-acceptance and yes, ma'am.
It's an
building the
evaluative
empathy.
one. It's
Yes,
evaluative. So it is higher order thinking because you're connecting it with the emotion. They have to go to that situation, analyze it, evaluate how that person would have felt, and then bring out.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
it is higher order.
After doing this activity, I felt very happy, ma'am. They came up with very logical thinking. Like they said that I will next time, few children told that next time I will personally help them to overcome their fear of the test and all. And few said that in what cases they are not able to cope up and I can help them to understand the concept. So the answers given by the children were very nice, ma'am.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Yes, Tehseen, ma'am.
Ma'am, I have a doubt here for the example that I had given. And I asked students to write an inspirational quote. So does it come under synthesis or evaluation, ma'am?
It comes under creative, right? See, if it is some code that they copied, it is of no use. But if they are using new words and no connecting and making an inspirational code, that is coming under creativity.
Okay, that's evaluation.
No. Creativity, highest one.
Okay.
Yes, Garima.
Yes, ma'am, there is a chapter in grade 6 where does food comes from. So here it includes, food variety, then what animals and human eat. So I just wanted to know, ma'am, that can we ask like this type of question after teaching the whole thing that, you are a manager, like, imagine that you are a manager of a restaurant, make a list of the food that you want to have it for different cuisine, because it is talking about different types of, ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
So different cuisine that, for the lunch and dinner, when you are having a different people coming from different countries. So that is something, types of food they have to find out. Then as a, what measure are you going to take to avoid the wastage of the food? So that is, will it come all under higher order thinking that they have
Yes.
to think?
If it is not in the lesson,
Yes, it
and
is
you
not.
are asking them to imagine and do it, yes, it comes under higher order. Imagination is the highest, like our creative level it comes under.
Yeah. So because it is
So,
talking about, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
yes, tell me, yes.
Yeah. So like, why is it necessary to have, fresh and uncooked fruits and vegetables? Sometimes, like, apple and other things. Why it is said, when we talk about your cooked food. So why we emphasize on, having a raw food. So these type of things, we are trying to give them some questions where they have to think and do the research. So I can take it as a higher order thinking.
Yes, you can.
Thank you.
Yes, Preeti ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. So here I would like to go with creating, ma'am, the synthesis level where here again, like, I would like to talk on plants only with a task where we are designing, the activity would be designing a new plant species with unique reproductive structures that will help it to survive in a particular specific environment. And because we are giving them that scope to think more, and since it's based on HOTS, so we can they can only think about examples like it may be desert, it may be rainforest, or even outer space, because they are creating something where they are using their knowledge and connecting with their learning. So students will be illustrating and describing how those particular the plant part also should be there based on the environment where the plants are growing. So they can use various mediums, like they can use their drawings, they can make model, or using any digital tools and all to express their ideas. So this is what I was thinking, ma'am. If it is fine or not, I'm not sure.
Yes, it's correct. You can have that.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Because you're asking them to design something,
Yes,
it automatically comes under the creative level.
Yes, so they are themselves, making those particular ideas. That's the reason I was thinking outer space and all, how they can connect to it. What are the conditions which are available for the plant, and how they can design that plant also to grow in that particular environment.
Yes. Yes, Travanti.
Yeah, ma'am. One more activity for the same animals. Now, the earlier one is like imagine, and they said the other one I have done in my class was that. So I'll be giving few clues to them, ma'am. Like it lives in the forest, it has a long trunk. I gave the clues, and child has imagined the animal, ma'am. Even it was a wings. Wings means it comes both with an birds and insects, ma'am. I told like it's a tiny wings we see in the garden. I gave them the clues. Child has differentiated, and then they have drawn it, ma'am.
Very.
So this activity also
That
got
also comes under, yes, it comes under higher order. Yes. Yes, Alicia.
Ma'am, actually, I have a confusion here. While I was teaching prefixes, I asked them to create a short paragraph using 5 prefixed words. Will it come under HOT, ma'am?
Yes, it will come under, because you've given the vocabulary and asking them to create a paragraph, okay, using any words any 5 words which uses prefixes. Which grade is it?
3rd grade, ma'am.
Then it comes under higher order thing. Will definitely come under higher order thing. Okay, right. Now you have to be careful when you are using higher order thinking. Okay. Now there is a danger here. Remember this, I told you in your unit also, but I'm reiterating here because here it is very, very important. your objective is at, say, for example, analysis level, and your activity is at creative level, it will not match. Okay, you have to match your objectives level to the activity level. That is the highest order that should be going. See, for example, if you are asking, like I would take Preeti ma'am's example of designing a tree. So towards the end of that period, that should come as an example. Design a tree with characteristics suitable for an adverse environment, desert, in brackets you can write desert, mountain range, or outer space. Okay, student will be asked to pick any one condition. Student will be able to do a pick out or design for any one condition to design a tree with characteristics. So this has to be in the objective so that you will be giving it as an activity in the, okay. Otherwise, there will be a mismatch. Okay. So now I'm going to give you a Kahoot activity. All of you have come across Kahoot, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So those who want to share, can scan and do. Those who want to take it from chat box, you can take this link also. If you have a mobile phone, you want to scan and do, you can do it. You've got the link, you've scanned. Okay. Okay. You're able to log in.
Ma'am, it was trucking in between, ma'am.
Try to.
Shall I do it again because I'm not able to
Yes,
get it?
yes, you can, you can. I can see Mukambika, Sinduri, Aarti, Alisha, Shravanti, Sharmila, Shampa ma'am, Tehseen ma'am, Parveen and Preeti ma'am. Others, please join.
Ma'am, it is getting stuck, ma'am.
Your network may not be right. So do it with your mobile. You can scan and do it. You want the scanner? You can do it with your mobile.
Ma'am, actually, I'm doing it on my mobile only.
Then network may be an issue. Connect to the Wi-Fi.
Okay.
If network is an issue, because Kahoot requires network.
Done.
Yes, Garima, you were saying something?
Yeah, that the questions what we were getting, we have completed, ma'am.
Yeah,
That
you
query
submit.
has
I'm
been-
waiting for others to complete. Then only I'll be getting the, yeah.
Okay.
If completed, let me know.
Yeah, mine is done, ma'am.
Okay, okay.
Completed.
Okay, just others, have you completed? Because I can see here 9 of you have not completed.
Yes, ma'am. Before I read itself, it's going very fast.
Ma'am, before the question is shown, before statement, I'm forgetting.
It's going faster, so I did not.
Okay. Because time will be very less. I think 20 seconds or something only is given for that, this one.
Ma'am, I'm not able to do at least one question. Before I mark it, it is stucking and I couldn't answer at least one question, ma'am. Oh God, my score is just 0. Now the scoreboard is very clear for me.
Ma'am, I'm done with it.
You're done? Okay. Okay. Questions, so just. Those who have not done, I'll just show you the questions and then we'll have a small break and, okay. Judge the 2D shape of the given object. Now, the moment it comes as judging, the answer is analytical. Okay? Yeah. Pick out the word and convert it into an abstract noun. Vasant is a honest man. Okay? So here the answer is, it is actually both knowledge as well as understanding, because there is no creative or applicative part here, analytical part here. From the given picture, find 1 inch is equal to how many centimeter. So the student must understand inch conversion to centimeter and apply, so it becomes analysis. Okay, write the measure of pencil in centimeters. This is the question, so it comes under knowledge. Here it is in inches and then converting into centimeter. Draw the flow chart to depict the food travels from your mouth and waste and sent it through, I'm not able to see, okay. Sent it through the anus. So here it's a flowchart drawing, so it comes under creative. Okay. let me just. Okay, next one. One minute. Okay. A boy can roam about after school. However, a girl should return home after school. So what type of statement is this? It's an
Judgment.
evaluative statement. That judgment is evaluative statement. Okay. So because it's a judgment statement, it is an evaluative statement. Okay. So this was the answer. Yes. So now we can have a 5 minutes break. So it's 11:41, 11:46. We will be coming back. Ready? All of you? Okay. So, okay, there is a link, I'll share it. Please go through the different headers of Bloom's taxonomy and the keywords, okay? And when you're writing your objective, be very careful, only one verb you should use. And avoid using the same verb in your lesson plan. See, what happens is when you're writing your lesson plan under teacher activity, you are writing like teacher asks the students to identify. Now remember, identify you've already used as a verb in the objective. Okay. So here you have to use a word which is not of the same type. So you have to go for simpler words like pick out. Okay, instead of identify, you use pick. The teacher asks the students to pick out, okay, differences based on the image that is provided. You cannot write identify the differences because that is your objective. You have to reach your objective. So what you're instructing the student should be on a simpler word. Okay. So please look at this resource that is shared to understand the different levels of blooms. I'll share the resource here also. So you can see the different taxonomy, the revised and the new the old and the new taxonomy. You can read through it and present your understanding. There is nothing like connecting with subject, but what is your understanding? What is that you would like to present based on your understanding? You can present. Yes. What is your idea about blooms? What is that you've understood? Can you just present? One or two only I'll take and then we move on to the next activity.
Ma'am, shall I say? Or we need to
Yes,
present the
please.
chat?
Yes.
Ma'am, it was like
1 minute. 1 minute. Who's this? Shravanti. Wait. Uh, 1 minute. Where is Chaitanya? I was just checking the name. I didn't see Chaitanya. Okay. Okay, Shravanti. Yes, go ahead. Shravanti, you can go ahead. Shravanti, you are there? Shravanti? Okay. Anyone else? She hasn't.
Ma'am, can I try?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, ma'am, I was out of the room.
Ma'am, in the
Okay.
revised taxonomy,
Mm.
it is about the process, what is happening.
It is about the process. Okay.
It is about, it was about what happened. They created, they evaluated. It was the end with your thinking process, what has happened. But in the revised taxonomy, it is a continuous process.
It is a continuous process. Okay. Neelam, did you complete? Because the revised part I didn't hear. Okay, it is the cognitive process involved rather than output of the process.
Ma'am, in the revised yeah, instead of end of the process, it is the process which is happening there.
Okay.
They're creating, they're analyzing.
Okay.
It is a continuous process.
Okay. Actually, the difference between the old one and the new one is, yes, Shravanti, you'd like to say something?
Yeah, ma'am. Ma'am, actually, in the original taxonomy, like they have mostly focused on the knowledge types, ma'am. Like how the knowledge will, mostly they have concentrated on the educational objectives just for the assessment of learning outcomes. I mean, it is used for the assessment for the learning outcomes. Whereas in the reversed taxonomy, it is more categorized into verbs and gerunds, an active process of thinking. It was like remembering and understanding, like it has been focused. And also how we incorporate into an actionable process, like how we be implementing them in our teaching, learning, and assessment process. And both aims, I mean, it aims to capture both the process and also the knowledge types, like different type of knowledge learners, like a different type of learners.
Very true. Yes.
And
if you notice, okay, you complete. Yes, Shravanti,
yeah,
anything else?
and in this, in the original taxonomy, it is only focused on the content of the knowledge, ma'am. And they did not address the nature or the diversity of the knowledge, like different types of learners, how the knowledge will be taken by different learners. Whereas in a revised taxonomy, it's a separate taxonomy, like multi-dimensional, like factual knowledge, conceptual knowledge, procedural knowledge, like multi-cognitive knowledge. It has been concentrated on different type of knowledge also, ma'am.
Very good. Yes. Very
And
good. Yes.
yeah, ma'am. In this, in the original taxonomy, it is divided into the hierarchical categories have been divided into 6, where knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. Whereas in revised taxonomy, it has been categorized into 6 categories, but they have been reordered and renamed it as a process oriented, as we thought, right? Like it should be oriented into action too. So it has been converted into remember, understand, how to apply, analyze, evaluate, and create.
Yes.
So before it was knowledge, now it is remember. I mean, before it was comprehension, now it is understand. Before it was unchanged, I mean, like apply was not changed, ma'am, it was the same. And even analyze was also the same. Whereas when it comes to evaluate, before it was create, now it was into evaluate. And before it was like synthesis, now it was creative.
So actually the thing is synthesis is brought to the evaluative level and
Yes.
one more creative level has been added.
Added.
Right. Yes, Parveen. Mukambika, these are verbs, okay? Knowledge comprehension, or these are verbs. It's not.
Ma'am,
Okay.
am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, Parveen. Yes.
Ma'am, the main difference which I found is between the revised Bloom taxonomy and original, ma'am. That is, in here, higher order thinking process goes in the revised taxonomy, ma'am, because there, like, it is a child centric. So, according to the needs and demands of the society, competition among the society, the children should be capable of, facing the real life challenges, real life applications. So they have to connect to that. So whatever the text we are, whatever the content we are I mean, facilitating them, we have to give the chance to the children to to be empathetic, to think, to create, and to analyze, and to apply in their real life challenges. So this is what I find, ma'am. So the basic difference, the one more, like, here the terminology is changed. Like, knowledge in the original Bloom's taxonomy, it is knowledge, a comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, evaluation. Whereas revised Bloom, we have like remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. So the structure is changed, but the thing is that the main is it should be a student centric, where it should be more innovative, creative, and all. So this is what I understood, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So here now, because we have one more group discussion, I'll share this. So this is Code's learning style. If you see, there's a resource that is given, Code's learning style. This also can be used for your differentiation. Now, what I want you to do is read through in two groups. I'll be randomly giving you breakout rooms, discuss with your peers. Now, you have discussed based on the different thinking style, isn't it? Now you will be looking through Kolb's learning style and understand which category of learners come under this Kolb's category. Okay, you can use any one of these strategies for differentiation, but for your understanding, which is more convenient to you, you can use in your classes. Okay, so I'm just dividing you into two breakout rooms. You will have you will have 10 minutes for discussion. So it's now 12. So 12:10, I'll close all the breakout rooms. Okay, you can join. Group 1, can you quickly share your ideas on the different learning styles? Quickly. Group 1, can you quickly share? Group 1, who is this? Yeah, Alicia, Garima, Neelam, Preeti, Shampa ma'am. If you're not ready, class group 2. Group 2, you're ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, group 2, can you share quickly?
Yes, ma'am, we are ready.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I'm going with introduction of co-op's experiential learning styles. So here, learning is a process where knowledge is created through the transformation of experience. According to co-op's theory, is highly influential in education because it emphasizes that learning is cyclical and continuous, driven by real-world experience. According to co-op's, learning occurs when individuals go through a cycle of experiencing, reflecting, thinking, and experimenting, and this cycle enhances understanding and retention of knowledge.
Okay.
Coe proposed that people have different preferences in how they perceive and process information. He developed a model that suggests that learning is not a passive process of simply absorbing information. Instead, it requires active engagement with the content, and Cope's model includes 4 stages of learning process: convergers, divergers, assimilators, and accommodators. Now Shravanti ma'am will go with the...
Yeah, ma'am. Ma'am, the first one I'm going to explain is the diverging learners, ma'am. In this type of learners, they learn through feel and watch, and the learners of this style will be very imaginative and creative, ma'am. They'll be very curious and emotional too. They are good at generating their ideas and seeing things from different perspectives, and they enjoy the brainstorming and thinking about the big picture. They enjoy observing and brainstorming ideas, ma'am. Often they prefer the hands-on activities combined with the reflection too. Okay, and here, yeah, these type of learners, ma'am, they engage in the real life experiences to explore their feelings and emotions. So they like to express their emotions and feelings, whatever the lesson we are going to explain. They are very good in expressing their views and ideas, and they observe and reflect on their experiences, thinking deeply about them and considering alternative viewpoints too, ma'am. And
Very
like,
good.
yes, and also the best learning activities we give for this type of learners are brainstorming sections. Group discussions will really work out, and also they have, as they are very creative activities just like role play or creating some visual representation will be really helpful for them, ma'am, to learn. And their personal reflection exercises also will help them. Like if it was with my class experience, ma'am, I would like to give an example. Like, so children who enjoys this type of learners will enjoy the storytelling sections, ma'am, and they draw the scenes from the story what they heard. Like when we say about the animals, no,
Shravanti, I'm stopping you because time also is there. Yeah, next person.
Yeah,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yeah.
It's
Okay. Yeah.
assimilation. So assimilators generally combine the abstract conceptualization and reflective observation, like they will think and they will watch. So these learners will have good, concise, and logical approach, and literally they will value the ideas than the people. Like they will think and they're watching. So they are more. They will get. They need a clear explanation rather than going with a practical opportunity. They need a clear explanation, and if it is quite logical based, they'll get attracted towards that, and probably these will be in generally with these kind of people prefer readings, lecturers, and explore the analytical method. So like in math, how we can support is provide by providing them visual aids or reflective activities. As they used to think, they can think and reflect on their own activity, and they also like focus more on accuracy, because as they are more into reading, accuracy also they want it to be a very accurate and precision. Yes.
Okay. And next person.
Yeah, converging learners, ma'am. They are like typically they love to be they love to solve the problems, ma'am. And they thrive in practical applications, and they love to enjoy the decision making. Means they'll be ready to connect to the real life practices. In these examples, we can take as a debate, ma'am. Debate we can take an argumentative written works, experimenting, testing. This we can take as an example, ma'am, for converging
Very
learning.
good. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next.
Ma'am, the other type of learners are accommodating learners, ma'am, where they prefer to learn by doing.
They are on mute,
They
Kushi. Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am.
Mm.
They enjoy mostly a hands-on activity and like to try new things without any instructions first. So these learners learn best when they experience something by themselves, and they also test their ideas in real life situations. If I take practical in English exam, if for English class, like in group activities, these kind of learners, they will show interest in their discussions. They gave an active role in discussions. And if I give any interactive games like a taboo and charts, and they can experiment their vocabulary and communicate in fun and interactive way. If we arrange any role play activities, I think these learners will be first to jump into speak in English with confidence and adapting the situations to act like that and all.
Very true. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Now group 2, you are ready?
No, ma'am, Mupa.
Yes.
Yes.
She
Aarti
completed.
ma'am. Aarti ma'am. No,
Aarti.
Aarti.
Conclusion I want to say, ma'am.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
We can use Cobb's theory to create more effective learning environment. It shows variety of learning activities that engage all stages of learning cycles. And the students' preferred learning style also helps teachers to personalize their instructional strategies to better support individual learning needs. That only.
Very see why this activity was given is because you have to first understand your learner and then design your differentiation.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
now with these characteristics, you can easily understand your learner. Yes, group 1, we'll have a quick this one.
Ma'am, we will this is what grade group 2 has described. Now, as you said, the different learners. So we will be just taking the different learning styles and giving the example by observing the class. So like first, like divergent learning, what it is talking about is these children, sometimes children, when we design something which they have to some video or something. So after seeing that, some of the students, they feel like, they are very imaginative. They imagine, then they try to solve the problems. So when problem is not in sense like any real life problem, but what is related to the concept, they try to figure out, they imagine they try to find out the problem from the imagination, and then they come to the conclusion. So they are very, very, very emotional to whatever the topic we are taking, and then they take them to the imaginative thing and they try to find out the solution. So they are the learners who can we can say that diverging learning. Now I will just pass it on to another team member to talk about the assimilating.
Yes, next person.
So, suppose we give a case study where they have watched a particular incident or a story and they have felt about it and they want to do something because they felt bad. This needs some rectification. So if I give a concrete example, in my class, they watched the video of jail and they felt that the rights of the people were denied to them. So they started thinking, how can this be rectified? They created a constitution and administrative system whereby all people will get their necessary rights. So watching, thinking and doing happened as an assimilation.
Okay, okay. Next candidate, next person from your group.
I would like to add on here about the converging learners are the individuals who prefers hands-on activity and practical approach to learning.
Yes.
So if we go with regard to an example for grammar topic, let us say adjectives. So, for an exact, for this topic, the learners who come under this category, they will actually, they can go with an activity like writing a product description or creating an advertising using adjectives. Creating an advertisement or creating a description or a product using an adjective. Product description using adjectives. So where they will apply the knowledge of adjectives with the help of a video or a presentation, ma'am.
Okay, okay.
The practical way.
Right, correct, ma'am. Correct. Yes, it has to be in the practical way.
Practical way.
Yes, yeah. The last one.
Yes, ma'am. Diverging learners, like suppose we have conducted an experiment with their group,
Mm.
and discuss with their group, and they will be more interested in their interpersonal skills, like to the conclusion. So they feel what they do. So how do you like, what best you like about the experiment? So such type of learners, I would categorize them under diverging learners.
Okay.
Ma'am, can I share and summarize the whole thing?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So is my this one visible? My PPT? So Cobb's learning styles connecting to the class, diverging means watch and feel. And please correct me wherever I went wrong.
Okay.
So a case study video is shown, watching the people jail and feeling that it's wrong. Then accommodating, feeling and doing, we need to do something. So they started constructing a administrative system which will give rights, where all can get their rights. So that was accommodating, feeling and doing. And finally assimilating. Whatever they had watched and thought, they assimilated in a system.
Ma'am, what about converging then? Here, this is assimilating. Converging also is thinking, na ma'am?
Converging is doing and thinking. So
diverging
yes.
is watching and feeling.
Yeah, what what
Converging is given, no, Rafia ma'am, in the
thinking,
last one,
thinking and doing. Yeah.
In the last one, thinking and doing is converging.
Accommodating is
feeling.
Doing and feeling. Right.
Assimilating is?
Assimilating is watching and thinking.
Watching and thinking.
So, ma'am, actually,
And diverging also is watching and feeling, ma'am. Diverging
watching
is watching
and feeling, not thinking is different from feeling.
Ma'am, so one thing I want to know, though we are specifying different learners, but generally most of these all four comes, with everybody, because they.
But it varies. It varies in percentage.
Yeah, it varies, but generally it is there with the all four will come with every individual. But some point of time, somebody is having strong in some other point, like assimilating or converging, but all these four will be there. Okay.
Yes. In everything, it will be there. Even if you look at multiple intelligences, all intelligences are there, but certain things are prominent.
Things are. Yeah. Oh.
Okay. So now you have to identify your learners and then you will have to work through the differentiation. So I'll just give one or two examples you can just give me on how a HOTS objective has to be set. Just think about it. One example is also fine. How an HOTS objective, I've already given this during the course, but I just would like you to give me a quick recall on how a HOTS objective should be set. You have seen Bloom's verbs. Okay. These are the verbs. Okay. So look at how exactly you're going to look from analyze, evaluate, and create. Now, for example, you say explain the consequences of a particular event in their own words. That comes under HOTS objective. Okay. Like that, I'm asking you to give a HOT objective, an objective that you can think of.
Like, ma'am, can I, ma'am?
Yes, sure, Gushi.
Yeah, ma'am. Like there was a poem on nature. So for that, as a HOT, I had given like we all speak, like birds will speak, like people will speak. Two plants also will speak. They communicate with each other. Just find out and come. Will it come under HOT?
No, the objective I'm saying, you're talking about an activity.
Okay, for
I'm
that, can I
asking
make a
about
question?
Yeah, you have to create an objective for that activity.
Yeah.
What is the objective?
Create
Yes.
the model of water cycle.
Create the model of water cycle, right? For which class?
And demonstrating how each process.
Two verbs are there. Two verbs are there. So only
Okay,
one.
creating and demonstrating should not come in one object.
One. So create the model of water cycle.
Next
Okay,
can be
that
demonstrate, ma'am.
Demonstrate, will it come as a higher? See, create is the highest. So demonstrate, will it come as the highest after create? No.
Ma'am, in the innovation club, we had told construct a plan how we can live on the moon.
Yes, construct a plan how we can live on the moon. Yes, it's correct.
So students came up like we can have a capsule on the moon with a controlled atmosphere.
That is the activity. You construct a plan with what? Smart. You have to think of smart also here.
Construct a plan how you can live on the moon. So they
no, is how you can live on the moon is an open-ended. You need measurable ones, isn't it? Construct a plan with what? With what resources? You understood? It has to be measurable, right?
Yes.
So what is that measurable quantity?
Construct and draw a plan.
Construct a plan. Construct itself means that they have to draw and submit. So construct a plan with what? Construct a plan with any
atmospheric conditions.
No. With any three materials. Okay. You can use to live on moon. Something like that it has to come. Got it? What I'm saying?
From my activity, so can I write analyze how plants communicate in the nature?
Yes. Analyze on the different ways in which plants communicate in nature. Right, that's correct.
Ma'am, can I go with this ma'am? Analyze the use of adjectives in the poem which are used to describe the words. Suppose there's a poem.
Describe again. See, once you have told adjectives, why again you're using describe?
No, actually.
Analyze the use of adjectives in the given poem. Fine, that's it.
Okay.
Okay.
Ma'am, can we have analyze as well as evaluate? The word analyze and evaluate?
No. You can
only analyze.
Yeah. You can have evaluate in your activity.
Okay. So in the objective, we have to have one.
On the objective, we should have only one. See, compare and contrast can be given. Compare and contrast is possible. Yes, Neelam?
Yes, ma'am. I have written in the
This
chat,
is correct.
justify the importance of an activity, ma'am, showing how the gravity works on.
Yeah, you can have.
Analyze and explain
the objects, how moon is revolving.
Yes, Neelam, you can have this as an activity.
Ma'am, objective can be if you have dealt with a story, ma'am.
Alicia, you're confusing the objective. See here, generate new words. Generate is one verb. Applying different prefixes another verb. Analyze how it alters the meaning. Again, third one came. You can directly give apply different prefixes. Students will apply different prefixes to a given word. Okay. Got it. But what you want to do with that? That is another question. What do you want to do with that, Alicia? Analyze, we apply different, but apply doesn't come under your thoughts. So it has to be analyze the meaning of different words using the given prefixes.
Ma'am?
Alicia, I'm not able to hear you. Your audio is not coming.
Ma'am, in the objective, can we mention analyze the process of plant reproduction by creating a new plant species that can come?
No, no.
That will go into activity.
See, not like that. Analyze you started with, and you are putting creating into that objective.
Okay.
It's 2 levels. That cannot be.
Ma'am, can I write like this? Create a model on financial crisis using line graphs?
Yes. Yes. Yes, you can.
Ma'am, for active and passive voice, can we write like this, ma'am? Create sentences using both active and passive voices to convey different meanings and importance.
No, you have to be very specific. You're forgetting smart part of it.
Ma'am, they're creating new sentences using what they have learned.
Then you'll have to rephrase it, isn't it? You'll have to think how to rephrase it. Okay, I'll just give you the homework for next week also, so that we'll have. Keep your sequence of activity with lesson plan ready. You can have your sample lesson plan. Sequence of activity is the activities that you have to do. Only one lesson your mentor will observe, the different activities that you're going to write in sequence for the lesson. Then you have to complete your notes for EOL. Explain why learning activities should be frequently differentiated. Describe strategies you use to manage your lessons effectively. Okay. And it is come to note that no, you are not sharing your feedback. Last time only 2 members shared. Okay. Please do share your feedback. It doesn't take much time. And I think because today evening, I think mostly Shilpa will be sharing, or Sai will be sharing the feedback form. Please do fill the feedback form. Take your time and fill your feedback form. Okay. It's already 12:37. So sorry for that 7 minutes delay. Yeah. So if you do not have any questions, yes, you can take it and call it a day. Thank you. Yes, Kushi.
Ma'am, for unit 2, artifacts where we have to keep, ma'am?
Artifacts, you have to keep it as a separate PDF.
Okay,
see, your
separate
students'
PDF.
work, you have to keep it separately. Your lesson, if you want to keep it as separate. But don't mention heading as artifact. Mention what is that you're keeping as an artifact.
Okay.
That should be
Activity?
the label going.
Okay.
Is it the activity
Students'
name?
work, activity
Student
name,
work,
it can be
activity
student
name.
work, it can be your lesson graphics, it can be whatever it is. What is that is artifact about? That has to be clearly mentioned.
Yeah. Ma'am, in
Okay.
unit 3 now we have gone through the different learners, different type of activities and all. So in my lesson plan, like which has been approved, I have 2 sorting activities. Like one is general vocabulary, the other is like with the prepositions.
Sorting
so
is
it
not
okay?
differentiation, you have to show.
No, I'm just asking you, is it okay to have 2 sorting activity?
Yeah, you can have, it depends. But time, see, you're keeping
Yeah,
40 minutes, 40 minutes, and no, you're setting activities for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, don't do it. It was never possible.
Like, ma'am,
in
if
the
we can do it like with small group, na ma'am, like not with the whole class, but the two activities, 2 different groups.
That you can, but that comes under differentiation.
Yeah, okay. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, Sinduri. Others can leave. Others, Aarti ma'am, please stay. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sinduri.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Yes, Sinduri.
Ma'am, as you have mentioned in my EOL, ma'am,